Everybody, Shabri Bird with Quantum Agriculture again. I'm here in what is this?
Fokhol.
Fokhol. And how do you say it?
Fokhol.
And the town?
The town is Stange.
Stanga. Norway. So please tell me your name.
My name is Eric Brinkhoff.
And Eric, how long have you been living here in Norway?
18 years now.
Really? And what brought you to Norway?
What brought me to Norway was the fact that some people invited us.
Okay.
Before that, we lived in Poland. We're doing agriculture there.
And you lived you lived close to Koblenz, did you?
I did. It was about 100 kilometers from Koblenz. Yeah. So I was there very many times.
Where Biodynamics was born.
Yeah, where the first impulse at least was expressed. That's the comment. Yeah.
And?
So some people invited us coming to Norway and to Camp Hill.
Oh.
So we were 10 years in the Camp Hill community, and now we're living on our own.
Yes, and you are the biodynamic preparation meister here, and
No, that's a big word, but let's say about 12, 13 years ago, I was asked if I could be responsible for making the preps on behalf of the Biodynamic Association in Norway, which means to take care of that those people that don't have the possibility to make them themselves can order them through the Biodynamic Association. So that's what I took on, and then I said I want to do it with more people. So every year, by the end of September, when we make the preps, we organize a day or a day or two sometimes, where we either invite somebody from outside or either I do it myself, have some study and like a seminar around the preps. And then in the afternoon or the day after, we make them ourselves and take a lot of time in order to explain. And we always get depends a bit between 15 and 30 people joining us, and it's guaranteed that we do this every year. And in the meantime, of course, during the year I have to collect all the flowers and so on and so on, and then also from the environment here I ask some people to help me because it's a lot of work.
And so you make all the compost preparations also?
Yeah, sure, of course, because that's what you need the flowers for.
Yeah.
So and then people can order them through the internet, and the income, because they have to pay a little bit for it, and the income goes back to the Biodynamic Association.
Mm-hmm. And how many members of the Biodynamic Association in Norway?
Well, the Biodynamic Association Norway has about 550 members.
Oh, great.
But deemed certified farms, if that's then how you define them, that's 22 at the moment. Yeah.
And this farm we're on is the largest?
It's the largest farm. It's about 110 hectares.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also Demeter certified.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you study in the Netherlands biodynamics?
No, not biodynamics. I have more of a practice. I've done that now for 30 years, but study background is biology.
Oh, very good.
So yeah.
Yeah. And what was it like in Poland?
Living in Poland is like going along the shore. You know, the sand is very loose, and you have wind against, and so you have to struggle, and then you come forward. That was it for me, at least. Yes, but, it's possible, and it's very nice, and I still miss it, but it's a challenge.
Yes.
And when we moved to Poland, everybody thought, all the Polish people thought, there come the rich people from abroad, because otherwise why do you come to Poland?
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to start a community there, and that was not so easy, because the Polish, they say, well, community, that we had, that was communism, we called it. But now I want to have my own television. So we asked from people abroad, from Germany or from Holland and so on, if they wanted to join us. And they said, well, of course they would like to go abroad, but then rather to France than to a scary place, a scary country like Poland.
Mm.
But as I said, I still miss it on the other hand. And the Polish farmers around us, they discovered very soon that we were not the rich people coming from abroad, but we had to work as well to develop our farm and to gain an income. So we had very good contact with them, and we had possibilities to help them because of the tractor, for example, and they had possibilities in the other hand to help us with some work, and so we had a very good cooperation.
Yeah.
That was really fantastic. And we had respect that they were not biodynamic and we were biodynamic, so that was no problem.
In Poland, is there any understanding that Kowawiec was the home of the first agriculture lectures?
Not so much, but what is very curious is that, for example, the Maria Thun calendar,
yes,
they sell more, I'd call it opplage. There is a bigger amount of Maria Thun calendars sold in Poland than the whole of Germany. And Germany is the biodynamic place in the world. And that means that something in the Polish people, in the Polish folk, is approached or grasped by this concept.
Yes.
So that's very nice. And there was, for example, no problem at all to get our products sold in Poland. We had far too little. We could have produced 3 times, 4 times, 5 times as much.
What were you producing?
We were mainly producing cheese and butter and so on, and we had bread. But people very appreciated the quality.
Yes.
And they were somehow familiar with the, not going for quantity, but going for quality.
Yes.
And that's what they appreciated.
Mm.
And of course, I mean, that's now what we talk about the beginning of the 90s. So that's a long time ago, and things have changed as well in Poland, and Poland has become a member of the EU and so on. But yeah, that was something really which people appreciated, and we could communicate with people.
Yeah.
And we were the lucky ones that there was a Jewish community in Warsaw, and they wanted to have kosher cheese, and they imported kosher cheese either from Israel or the US because it was not to be obtained in Poland. And then they heard about our cheese, and the rabbi came for a visit. And because we don't eat meat, we are vegetarians, so there was no meat in the surroundings and so on. So they could label our cheese as being kosher, and they ordered. Actually, they wanted to have all the produce we had, and that was not what we wanted. But they were good customers, and they were reliable. They paid, which also was a challenge sometimes. So they got half of our cheese production and butter production, and the rest we sold on the local market. And if we would have had, as I said, 3-4 times as much, and that was only the Jewish community in Warsaw.
Yep.
And then we talk about Wrocław, Breslau, and we talk about Krakow, and we could have sold much more produced.
And there's a large school of biodynamics in the Netherlands too.
It is. Mm-hmm.
And that's where Pfeiffer also went? Didn't he go from?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't go there, so I don't know. Yeah, but it is. I mean, I think it's about almost 30 years ago that we left Holland.
Oh wow!
So I don't know so much what happened there, but I heard very good things about the school while on the whole there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I meet some people sometimes here in Norway.
So, what are the challenges of making preparations here in Norway?
The challenge, well, there's not so much challenge. You can just make it, but
I've heard some of the flowers, or some of the flowers, maybe chamomile or something is different.
Yeah, chamomile doesn't grow. You have to, you have to grow it yourself. But we sow it and you have to grow it yourself. But otherwise, the rest is quite easy to get. And I think one of the challenges is to have people to use it, because I have the impression that it's quite a lot of farms that are Demeter certified that don't use it, or use it not as much as they should. And of course, it's always the question: is it what the regulations, like according to the rules, or according to what you need and what you want? But as I always say, there is no freedom in farming, because the cows, they demand you to milk them, and the carrots demand you to weed them, and so on and so on. But all of a sudden, then there's a freedom in the preparations, because you don't see the result directly. And I think although all these farmers are really convinced that biodynamics is the best, that by the time spring comes and they have sort of extra work, that they skip the preparation spraying as one of the first things. And that's a little bit my question, and trying, how can we support these farmers to do it nevertheless? Just taking away the Demeter certification is no help, because they would like to do it, but how can we support them to get it done?
Mm-hmm. And is the weather one of the big problems? No, not the cold or snow?
In winter, but if you do agriculture outside, you have to get summer.
Yeah.
And that's in Norwegian summer, because by the time spring comes, there's such an abundance of light that if you are quiet in the evening, you can hear the grass grow.
Yeah, so much light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Listen, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Biodynamic community around the world appreciates it.
Thank you so much.